Hello everyone, I am Archana Rani. In this assignment, we are going to discuss Python Programming Laboratory Assignment number 12. Write a program to print each line of a file in reverse order. The learning objective and outcome of this program to learn how to use the file concept in Python programming, and outcome is student will able to implement the file handling concept in Python programming. Problem statement, as I said it, that you have to write a program. Student have to write a program to print each line of a file in a reverse order. Prerequisite for this program: to understand this example, then you should have a knowledge of the following topic, that is how to read and write the data in a Python, what are the different data types we can use it, operators and file handling concept, which is important. Let's we discuss the file handling concept in Python. As everybody is knowing that file handling is used when whatever data we have stored in a file, if we want to retrieve that data or perform the operations on that data, that time we can use it the file handling concept. And Python is support the file handling and allow user to handle the files, like we can read, as I said it, that we can read the data, we can write the data in a file, and many more file handling operations we can perform on a file. The concept of file handling in Python is very easy and short as compared to the other programming language. Python treats the file differently as a text file or the binary file, which is important. And each line of the code is include the sequence of the character and they form a text file. And each line of file is terminated with the special character called as the end of line character. Like we can put it the comma or the new line character. It end with the current line and tell the interpret a new one has been begin. Let's we see how to perform these operations in a file handling. For performing the file handling, the key functions is working in a Python programming, that is we use it the open function. Open function can take it the two parameter, that is first one is the file name and second one is the mode. There are the four different methods we use it for opening the file, that are nothing but the mode of the files, that we can open the file in different mode. First one is read mode, second one is append mode, third one is write mode, and fourth one is create mode. Read mode is a default value, it's open a file for reading purpose and it shows the error if that file does not exist. Append mode, it's opening the file for appending, that create the file if does not exist, then it create it and then open it. Whereas the write mode is open a file for writing the file, write the file if it does not exist, and create is create specified file, return if the error is occur if that file is not exist. In addition to that, we get it the special mode, that is first mode is T mode and second one is B mode. T mode is used for the text, that is a default value as I initially stated, whereas if you want to open the file in binary mode, you can open that file in a binary mode. What is the difference between text mode and the binary mode? That the text mode is only contain the text file, whereas the binary mode may contain the image file in a file. The syntax for how to use it, the file handling concept in Python. So you to open a file for reading, it is enough to specify the name of the file, and with the help of the open functions you can open the file. Simply you have to give it the name of the file in that open functions, and we can initialize that with one variable. The code is same as the smaller code, that this file, if we put it this line, then by as I said it previously, that the default mode for the file is in the text mode. So R it stands for file we are reading, for the mode for file is we read it the file only in a text mode. So R is for read and T is for text, that is a default value in a Python programming. Okay, please note here one point, that make sure that the file is exit, else it will show. If the demo file .text file is not exit, then it will show the error instead of creating it as we have opened that file in a read mode. Okay. To open the file, we use it the built-in open function, and open function is return the file object. which has a read method for reading the content of the file. So once you open the file, then with the help of that file object variable, you can read the content of the file. If your file is placed at the different location, then you have to explicitly define that locations, then only it will open that file. Read only part of the file. How we can read it, the part of the file? If you want to read it, where you are having the files, and in that file may have a multiple lines. Among that multiple lines, if you want to read it the only specific part of the file, then you can use it the first five. For example, if you want to read only the first five character in a file, then while reading that file f.read, you can pass the parameter as a 5 character. So it will consider that 5 as a first 5 character, and it will return that only first 5 characters. Like, whereas if you want to read it the whole line up from the file, then you can read it the read line method. Likewise, now please note one point here, that here the file may contain the multiple lines, then you have to explicitly define the multiple read line functions. Otherwise this file will only read the first line and it will stop it. So if you want to read the whole contents of the file, then you may use it the looping concept. And by using that looping concept, for example, here I have used it the for loop, and whatever content it's having in that file object, that can be stored in a X, and then we can print it that in a console. So it will read the whole file. Once you're done with all the file operations, the next task is that you have to close the file. That is always good practice, that once you perform your operations, you have to close your file by using the close function. These are the different file methods. We will get it in a Python. As I said, read close is used for the close the file, whereas retouch is return the separated row streams from the buffer. Then the file no, it's written the number that represent the stream from the operating system perspective. Then the file no, it's written the number that represent the streams. Then flush is flush the internal buffer. Is attributes is written whether the file stream is in interactive or not mode. Then read is written the content of the file. Readable is written whether the file streams can be read or not. Read line is read a single line, that is a one line from the file. Whereas if we want to read the multiple lines, then you have to use it the function called as read lines. Yes, to put it line, then it will read it the list of the lines from the file. Seek is change the file position, whereas seekable is written whether the file allow you to change the file positions or not. Tail is written the current file positions, whereas truncate is resize the file at the specified file. Then writable is written whether the file can be writable or not. Write is specified string. Write the specified string to the file, and write lines is write a list of the strings to the file. Likewise, we get it the different file methods, and by using these methods you have to perform the whatever problem definitions is given for this assignment. So 4 steps we can perform for this assignment, that you have to read the content from the file, use the functions, or write the program code to display that file content in a reverse order, print that on a console, and then exit it. And for performing these definitions, I have demonstrated this in 2 ways, that at a single time we can read it the whole value. Yes, and then we can print that whole value at a time. Whereas as per our problem definitions, the next program is given that we read it the line by line code, and then we print it that in a reverse line. So we see the program 1. So for opening the file, as we have seen that with the help of the open method, we can read it the file and explicitly define the locations here, as my file is at the different locations, and I open that in a read mode, and I am reading the content of that file with the help of the file object, and directly print that file content. Once I read it all the data in that file object, The next one is I have to represent that data in a reverse order. And for representing the data in a reverse order, we have already seen at the initial only. You must have done this concept in your theory sessions also. Slice statement is used here. With the help of the slice statement, I'm going to read the content from the backward sides of the string. So here the scope resolution operator and -1 means it's starting from the end of the string. Yes, at the end of position 0, and its move -1 means it's -1, which means the one state backward it will start it from. That means from backward side it will start to read the character by character data, and that will stored in a rev1 variable, and then we can print it. That in a rev variable can be print, and if we run this program, then output we will get it that original file may be shown like this, that hi, how are you, hope you are doing well at your end, stay home, stay safe, thank you, bye. And once we read all the contents and stored it in a single variable, so as we stored it in a single variable, so the last one it stored initially, so it will print that from the last that we have seen with the help of the slide statements, and from the -1 it start to represent from the backward style to represent the data, so it will print it in a reverse order. This is one style to print the data in a reverse order, whereas as it's explicitly defined in our program that line by line code you have to print in a reverse order, whereas in this program the whole file we have printed in a reverse order at a time. Whereas for printing the line by line file, first you have to read it that line by line file, and then you can print that in a reverse style. For printing that in a reverse style, the same slice statement we can use it and print it. For reading the data, here I have taken the help from the import system package. Okay, so I define here one function called as the rev line function, and passing the file name to that rev line function. The file name I have taken here from the arguments, that the file name may be different at every time. Okay, then I pass it that file name to the rev line. Then I have taken here one variable, it starts from the 0. It's open all the lines, read lines functions, as we have seen that read lines functions is help to read the multiple lines. So that all stored into the z variables, and that the z variable is identify that how many lines we are having in a file. Next, I have taken one more variable called as the rev functions, and that I have defined here that none into z. And what is the use of this none variable here? It is frequently used to represent the absence of value when a default argument is not passed in a function. If we have not passed any function in a value, that time it will consider some default value for that. Okay, next I have printed just for a better understanding, I have print the file name, then I open that file. Yes, whatever file we read it, that first file we have to open it. Yes, then from the starting of that file point up to the length of that file, I have started to read the content. While starting to read the content, I have started from 0 and I read it the first line. Okay, once I read it the first line, here I have used it one more functions called as the strip function, and strip function is help to remove the space at the beginning as well as at the end of the string. And then I stored that string data, whatever data we read it, that means the first line of the file in a rev functions. And while printing that rev line, I am using the slice statements and start to print that from the backward style. Okay, likewise first line I have printed, then I increment the I value, then I read it the second line, then I read it the third line, likewise up to the length of that lines. Yeah, this loop will be continue and it will print it in a reverse order. Okay, And if we run this program, then we will get it here. As I said it, that here showing the file name, then line by line content we can read it and print it in a reverse order. Likewise, the first line was the this one, that is hi, how are you. It's printed in a reverse order. Then hope you are doing well at your end, it's printing in reverse order. Yes, likewise the file has been printed in a reverse order. Yeah, let's we switch to the editor and check these programs. Control R. The first program, first whatever program I have shown you, first I will run that program. See, you can see it here that the original file content is showing here, hi, how are you, hope you are doing well, thank you. And after reverse of that program, it's showing it here output, that is in a reverse order. That means at a time the whole content we have read it and then we printed that in a reverse order. This one is the first program, whereas the second program, that is line by line code, let's we check it, that line by line code. Here it's showing that F test, then this one first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. Likewise, we can print it the line in a reverse order. And the conclusion for this assignment is, as per the file data, we read that file data and display the result as per the problem definition, that is line by line data. We can read it and print it in a reverse order as a result. Thank you.